2020-2021 season, the New York Knickerbockers ain't no motherfucking joke. It's your boy Dame. Subscribe to Dame's World. We in May 2021. Crunch time in this NBA season. And I gotta tell you, I'm very impressed by the New York Knicks. And for the first time, probably in my lifetime, they're playing true basketball. As we reel the tape, I'm just going to speak about the superlatives with this Knicks team. The first thing you probably know is Julius Randle, 24, 10, and 6, playing out of his mind at a superstar, in my opinion, MVP level. So when you talk about what constitutes a good team, you need at least one, preferentially two. But they have one solidified superstar, but we'll get to something later. So you have that Julius Randle superstar factor with the numbers and with the play. Then you have Coach Tom Thibodeau. Emphasis on the defensive end. As you've known all year, Knicks have been number one in defense or close to it. When you look at the roster from Elfrid Payton to Derrick Rose to Quickly to Nerlens Noel to Bullock to Randle, they all play sufficient and stout defense. Thibodeau has that mind state to where if you don't play defense, you ain't playing for me. As we see the tough shot by Julius Randle. Barrett. Let's go Barrett. Get his shit beat up. R.J. Barrett, one of the sparks. But let's go here. This is where I've been meaning to go. Because they do have one superstar on paper. But with the eyes, in Dame's world with the eyes, they got two superstars. Derrick Rose. Been playing out his mind in the second half of the year, seemingly shooting 60% off 17 points per, about 5-6 assists off the bench. But more importantly, Derrick Rose is a gamer. So when it matters, when we're playing bums, you might not get the best roles. But when you playing the Clippers or the Lakers or a high-powered team, you're going to get a superstar level Derrick Rose. Continuously in Dame's world, I have to remind you niggas how good Derrick Rose is as we see the hezzy one dribble pull up over Nick Batum. The man is just a basketball player. And before I don't have to give him a million superlatives, because the best superlative I could give him is his name. He's balling like this because that's Derrick Rose. That's what Derrick Rose do. When you reach a certain stature, the reason is because you are who you are. Why is Kevin Durant killing? That's Kevin Durant. Why is LeBron got 30? Because that's LeBron. That's what they do. When it comes to Derrick Rose, that's what he does. And when it comes to the Knicks, he's been the second best player on the team and arguably, the most needed player in crunch time, though Julius Randle has been coming up huge in crunch time with fadeaways and contorted type shots that I didn't even know the brother could hit. I'm talking about hitting high-level, supreme superstar shots from Randle. Then you talk about Bullock right there and the rookie, I keep forgetting his name, Toppin, I believe. You got shooters and intense offensive energy players in Bullock and Toppin. Bullock specifically a three-ball player who stretches out the defense, something the Knicks need. They got Randle, they got Rose, people who are not typically three-point shooters, even though they can shoot the pill. And then you have the bench of Taj Gibson, Emmanuel Quickly. Of course, Toppin, like I said, and Rose, they have one of the best benches in the league. As you see, a tough, nice floater from Chi-Town's finest. I say this all to say, in the Eastern Conference, 4th seed in the playoffs, they gonna give some people problems. Given they play the Hawks, I got the Hawks getting ousted in the first round. I mean, you talk about, again, credit to Tom Thibodeau, because you can clearly see they run a system, not only on defense, but on offense. They run plays consistently. It's not just wing it. I'm running set plays to get isolations for people when they're in their right spot. Set pick and rolls designed for my best players to get the pick and roll. I run set plays to where, my boy, what's his number 9? I keep forget having a brand. RJ Barrett, sorry, where RJ Barrett is in the mid-range section area to where he prefers to be. RJ Barrett is always found in a corner in his sweet spots. Coaching is excellent because you can tell they're in a position to succeed as players. Taj Gibson is playing his role as Taj Gibson. Nerlens Noel is a shot blocker out of this fucking world and an energy player, and they're letting him be as such. So you have to give credit to Tibbs because you're seeing a well-oiled machine in the New York Knicks. And we've seen Melo's, Amari's Knicks. Those were one-man bands. This wasn't a unison team effort. This New York Knicks team is exciting for the antiquated fan. What I mean by that is you see real hoops, mid-range game from these players, defensive effort from these players, switching on picks, sometimes fighting the picks, having an offensive strategy with the zone. When you see them play a zone, they have plays for that. It's just the level in which they're playing. I can no longer say, oh, Derrick Rose, get him. Yeah, and then I'm going to bring it back just to show y'all. People think he ain't bouncy. When I need to use the bounce to draw contact, I can be bouncy and quick. Who you think the quickest player on this floor is right now? Who you think got the most bounce on this floor right now? If you don't say Rose, you're sadly mistaken. He just don't show you the spring. He seasoned. And then you see, Randle with the pass to Barrett. Barrett got the corner threes. Two of their weaknesses, in my opinion, I think they need one more scorer. Rose and Randle are their go-tos, and Barrett can get his own, even though his game is less nuanced than a Randle or a Rose. Randle has the bully ball game, but he's now developed the crazy post fadeaway game and a jumper in the perimeter to where he's effective all over the court. Rose as well. RJ Barrett is more of a mid-range, slashing, corner 3 type guy. Top of the key and driving to the lane. He's kind of forceful, even though he playing bully ball. Shout out to RJ Barrett because he treating grown men like kids with his bully ball style. So I do like that nature and his mind state of killing and hitting that corner 3 like I said. I just think one more scorer, 1 or 2 more shooters, and the Knicks would be championship contenders, in my opinion. But I will say this. Looking at the NBA this year, shit. Given Bron and AD's health, who's to say the Knicks can't make a legitimate push? It's only a few system teams in the NBA right now, Knicks being one. If you watch the Hornets play basketball, you see they operate in a systemic fashion. But when you have a well-oiled machine against stars who may not have their chemistry down pat, you can win a series. I seen the Pistons beat the Lakers. I seen Mavericks beat the Heat. So this New York Knicks team is reminiscent of those type of teams which runs as a unit, consistent, defensive based, and man, I hate to say it, but right now in the East, they're playing like I don't hate to say it, but it's a first for me to say that they're playing like the best team in the Eastern Conference. As we see Rose pull up for another 3, Jimmy on point, mid-range on point, layups on point, handles on point. Shout out to Derrick Rose, man. When I ain't got nothing to say, superlatives for that man. As we see crunch time. And then that's another thing. Because they run a system, they have set plays. In the crunch time, they don't look lost. They don't look aimless. Granted, they're top heavy with going to Rose and Randle. Nice lob. But they usually get quality looks consistently because they're not running around with their head cut off or just doing pick and roll or isolation 10,000 times until they find success. It's usually offensive base as we see another Rose clutch bucket, pull up three right in your mouth. Oh, man, Derrick Rose. And then, y'all niggas need to, nice pass by Rondo. Y'all niggas need to know what y'all see and not know what y'all hear. Especially, I'm from California, so I hear the Cali rhetoric often. When Rose come to Cali, Clippers or Lakers, he usually torches shit. So from what y'all have seen, even post-injury, Derrick Rose has still been nice. But y'all hear from the media nothing. Crickets. He don't get put in the top 50 players today. You think he not top 50 NBA players today? You crazy. So from what y'all hear, y'all make the, oh, he's balling today. It ain't just today. The nigga ain't never stopped balling. At a lesser magnitude than MVP Rose, yes, but in some ways, even a better Rose. He's way more poised than MVP Rose. His floater is perfect. He has this is the best his floater and his mid-range and his three ball has been. So in some ways, he is better than the old Derrick Rose. It's just that Energizer bunny of Derrick Rose, that 2011 Derrick Rose, that's a creative player right there. This is just nuanced, savvy vet ripping the league up, Derrick Rose. But nonetheless, Derrick Rose. But yeah, you know, we see the game winding down and them beating the Clippers. I'm just here to ask the question, are the Knicks for real? I think so. I think they're not going to be a first-round exit. I can see them beating the Hawks. I can see them beating, who else they got in the East? Celtics, anybody in that bottom round tier. I can see them in the Heat having a nice series. If that was to match up, I could see them giving Brooklyn trouble, but I do see Brooklyn propelling over that. But who knows? You feel me? That's just my thoughts and my comments. I'm watching the Knicks daily as a Rose fan, and I do think they are legit. Let me know your thoughts and your comments. It's your boy Dame, man. Peace. Shout out to Derrick Rose. Man, that nigga nice.